The holographic principle has been present throughout the ages, although it may have not been called that way early on. The concept that everything is present in everything, that from any point or any part of the universe you could get the information of the whole, has been present in ancient civilization, traditions, shamanism, and masters around the world in many different cultures. The concept of oneness has been there all along. However, in the development of the holographic principle in standard physics, we start the exploration with a famous physicist, David Bohm, which thought of the implicate and explicit order of creation as this structure in which creation contained every piece of information of the whole in every point. Every region contains the total structure unfolded within it. He thought that all of the information of the universe would be present in every point. And this was described in his exploration of the holographic principle early on. Now, what is an hologram? Okay, a hologram is an experiment or a setup in order to get a three-dimensional projection in space. It's important to understand that the holographic principle of physics is called that way only as an analogy. And this is where people get mixed up, including physicists. And so I'm going to make a very distinct separation between a hologram that we make on Earth here and the universe having a holographic principle. Those are two different things. However, the hologram is a good analogy to most likely what the universe is doing.
To produce a hologram, a laser beam is split into two identical beams and redirected by the use of mirrors. One of the split beams is directed at the object, in this example, an apple. Some of the light is reflected off the object directly onto the photographic plate. The second beam is directed onto the photographic plate. And when the two beams intersect and interfere with each other, the interference pattern recreates a virtual 3D image of the apple in this space. Interestingly, the word hologram comes from the Greek word holos, whole, or gramma, message. If a hologram is cut into pieces, each piece contains whole views of the entire holographic image.
And what's really amazing and interesting about this is that if you cut the plate in half and shoot the laser at it, the apple is still going to appear. It's going to have lower resolution, but it's still going to appear. And if you cut it in quarter and you shoot the laser at it, it's still going to have the apple. All the information is still there. You can cut, theoretically, the plate to infinity and still have the information of the apple. So the concept is that every point contains the whole, which is a concept, as I said, that was already present in ancient civilization all around the world, in shamanic cultures and so on. Physics, David Hawking and Leonard Susskind, which is the director of the physics department at Stanford University, and the two were debating, what happens to the information in the universe. Eventually, with the help of others, physicists, Leonard Susskind, and from a little bit of a convoluted path of earlier physics that were written by Bekenstein and others, developed a concept that is now known as the holographic principle. This concept showed that the information that's falling into the black hole is holographically imprinted on the surface of the black hole as Planck vacuum fluctuation. And here is our ether again, nice at this nice centrally position, again re-emerging, showing that the information is held in the structure of the vacuum at the surface of the black hole, so it is not lost. The mathematics were written for it, and it gives the correct temperature for the entropy of the black hole, for the temperature of the black hole. And so it was proven to be correct, or at least, it has been theorized to be correct. And eventually, Stephen Hawking conceded the bet that information could be retained on the surface of the black hole and information was not lost. So Leonard Setskin and the holographic principle became explored more and more by many, many physicists, and the concept became very much embedded in the modern interpretation of black hole entropy, and some of the most advanced and most important mathematics and physics that are being explored today, including ER equals EPR, showing that entanglement may be through black holes, and that black holes are like little entangled by particles, saying that particles may be as well black holes. What's important to remember here is that creation appears to be the result of a flow of information in which each point contains the whole. As the Planck fields spiral into creation, the information, because there is smaller and smaller and smaller bits of information in each point, is conserved. And all of knowledge about the whole can be extrapolated from the part. For instance, in these equations we discover, we literally were studying the proton. We were studying the proton using this equation, and we ended up extrapolating the mass of the universe, its temperature, its acceleration, and so on. So from the point of a proton, we learn about the whole universe. And so imagine what that means to you. That means that from any proton in your body, if you were able to connect and have access, you could know about everything else in the universe. You could know about a place you've never been, remote view that place. You could influence something that is far away from you. There's all kinds of implication to these equations that actually meet some of the most esoteric concepts and some of the esoteric experience people have been having in the world, where they think of somebody and they call, or they go to a place and they say, oh, I dreamed about that place. I know that place. I've been there, although they've never been there physically. If all the information is present in every point, that means that you can have access to information that's non-local to you. And that means as well that you can learn from within you. That is, not all knowledge comes out from outside of you into you, but that actually you have knowledge within you that can emerge from you. And that is the creative process. And that leads as well to understanding the source of awareness.